Hi, this is Majin, and we got some more comic reviews for you. We have part this week and part last week. Indestructible 2, Curse, X, Suicide Squad, World's Finest, The Cataclysm X-Men, X Factor, Team Up, and Mighty Avengers. Some of these I'm going to go kind of quick, and others I'll go into a little bit more in-depth. Anyways, let's take a look at what we got here. First up is Indestructible 2. I'm really enjoying Indestructible 2 because it's this guy who's just in the wrong place at the wrong time. They think he's indestructible. People are punching him in the stomach in the street trying to prove how tough they are, and he's got to suck it up type thing. Now in this issue here, he's basically kind of starting to reap the benefits of being a superhero also. You know, like he's got a superhero team coming up to him, trying to recruit him. His roommate's taking some advantage of him a little bit here and there. He's got a girl now, and it's kind of like, it's just like a light-hearted read, so to speak. And I'm really enjoying it. The art, I think, is really good. Now, keep in mind, when I say really good, I don't mean that it's like this amazing piece of artwork. What I'm just saying is it just fits the story. I love the way the characters look, and it's just very simple and easy to follow type thing. And that's what I really like about this thing. You know, we won't talk about how he doesn't know how to draw backgrounds. That's for another part. But regardless, I'm really enjoying it, and I'm really looking forward to see how this is going to play out. Curse. No clue what this thing was, other than it looked like it was going to be bloody. Basically, this is the tale of this guy. He was a football player, and his son has, I think it was cancer or something to that effect. And he's basically starting to hawk all of his memorabilia just to pay for the treatments. He doesn't have a job. He's in dire straits because he wants to cure his kid. Well, as luck would have it, there is something going through the woods mauling people and animals. So there's a huge bounty, and he decides to go after this creature. I love this book. The art is fantastic. It really fits the mood of the story. The werewolf creature, it looks good. And what I also like about the werewolf creature is, while you do get to see it every now and then, it has a really feral look to it. And by feral looks fierce, and it doesn't quite look like a normal werewolf, but you know it's a werewolf type thing. Overall, I enjoyed it, and I'm definitely going to be looking for the second issue from Boom Studios. I'm also really appreciating the fact that it's a 4-issue miniseries, so hopefully we'll get done with this thing, and it'll end on a high note. X. You know, I didn't know what to think about X. I mean, I know X was a long-time character from Dark Horse, and, it's 9 issues in. I didn't know what to expect. But there was a panel that just really appealed to me, so I picked it up. I really enjoyed X. X was very easy to jump into. Without even having to read this beginning part, I was able to figure out who X is, what his motivation is, to a point. You don't know every little detail, but you can get a general idea of what his character is, the way he feels about things, to his, I guess you could say, almost his honor type system. And it's just violent. Now, it's not like page after page of violence, but oh man, when there's some violence, there's some serious violence going on. And basically what X is doing is he's finding people that are committing wrong. Like, for an example, if somebody's going out having sex with women and posting their pictures and video online for a bounty, he goes after people like that. And what he would do is, like, he'd mark on a website a line through their face. If they don't stop, then he goes after them. And basically what was happening is, for a while, nobody was stopping. And they were just getting killed. And then now what you're seeing is people starting to figure things out and go, oh shit, and they stop. And so he's running out of jobs, so to speak. The art, I think, is nice and gritty, dark. It really fits the tone of this series. And I'm actually, like I said, I really enjoyed it. And, I don't know if I'm going to buy the trade to get the back issue part, to get the first 8 issues, but I'm really seriously considering picking this up. In a way, it almost reminds me of another version of Punisher, meaning, okay, take away the mob and then the crime elements, and just basically more of a Robin Hood Punisher, so to speak. But I enjoyed it. Okay, that's enough talking about good. Let's get to some bad. This is a freaking origin issue. What in God's bloody hell are you doing? This is a Forever Evil tie-in. You know, I expect to see Forever Evil nonsense, but you're giving me a freaking origin issue from characters. Get this, excuse the language, shit out of here and give me something that ties into Forever Evil. If you can't tie it into Forever Evil, don't put this stupid banner on top of it. Freaking nonsense. Alright, next up is Huntress Power Girl World's Finest. This is the first time where they're meeting, you know, their their parent counterparts, so to speak. Basically what's going on is Power Girl's powers are going crazy. Huntress can't do anything to help her, and it's not like Power Girl's, you know, trying to figure things out. So what she does is she basically breaks into the Batcave, and she meets Batman. So she's basically looking for help. It was a very interesting reaction the way Batman handled the Huntress. You know, meaning he sees her, he lets her in, and he sets up the trap. And which is, and on one hand, you have to admit, I can see why he's doing this, because how else would somebody figure out who he is to the point of they're at your front door? So you do let them in, just so this way you can control them in your environment. But overall, it was just like an interesting first encounter. I did enjoy this book. This has been, well, this, I'll say, is not necessarily the strongest of the new DC books, but as a whole, I've been usually pretty much entertained throughout the entire run so far. Okay, I'm not really going to talk about this much, but I will say this. Rogue is a whore. Oh my, I mean, not a whore, she's such a slut. The second she finds somebody where she can't steal their powers and memories, she is already making out with them, right? Boom. She's like, oh my goodness, Rick Jones, I can't steal your powers. Kiss. Unbelievable. The world is just destroying around them. Her friends are dying down below. She's screaming, nobody else dies. And she's making out with Rick Jones. Unfreaking believable. That's all I gotta say. I think you all know that what my general feeling is about that title right now anyways. Oh, I actually have one more thing. I love also how at the beginning she's like, no one dies, no more death. And at the last page, where once they escape their predicament, they're back on Earth, they see Galactus. We do everything it takes. I'm like, oh my god, it's like complete bipolar slut. That's what the Rogue is. Alright, all new X Factor number 2. I really enjoyed this issue. The first issue, I was like, okay, it's okay. This one, I don't know, it just, everything just clicked, and this was actually a really enjoyable read. You have basically Polaris leading this new X-Force team. They get taken apart, so to speak, falling for traps, and we get to find out what the fate of some of the characters that Quicksilver jacked up, you know, many issues ago, months ago. And overall, I thought it was really good. Basically what you have is this guy who's basically siphoning off mutant energy. He's basically going, well, you really are more powerful than what you think you are. You're just not using your powers. And he just basically goes supercharge. And it's their job to stop him. So I enjoyed it. This. You know, I'm going to save this for last because there's a spoiler. Potential spoiler. Okay, Inhumanity, Mighty Avengers crossover. I don't... Okay, granted there is a crossover because there's stuff going on the Inhuman ship, so I'll give them that much. This is why I bought this book. Is because I loved the interaction between Spider-Man and Luke Cage and Jessica, and how Spider-Man is just like going, this is my team, you know, you don't know who you are, you know, I am Spider-Man, and, you know, if you can join me, you're going to get a better package, basically. You're going to get a big place to, you know, be able to hold your, you know, like your not your warehouse, but your meeting headquarters, top level, what does he say here? He is top level minion status. I mean, like, my God, this is Power Man, and he's going to give him top level minion status. I mean, it's just the arrogance is just oozing, and I'm just enjoying every second of it, because you know these people are going, what the hell are you talking about? And this is the other part I thought was kind of funny too. Now you have the Superior Spider-Man. He's obviously, you can tell he's got a glass thing over his eye, and I don't mean glass, but it's obviously something that's breakable and shatters. So why would you put that in your freaking right in front of your eyes? My God, if somebody punched you like she did, and those pieces went into your eyes, you are screwed. So, anyways, all of this is going on, and at the very end, you know, like Spider-Man is just Spider-Man leaves. He actually leaves the battle to his minions so he can come back and with a new mask because he can't have the style and appearance of without that with those eyelids things gone. But anyways, so what happens is eventually Power Man gets calls the lawyer. So She-Hulk comes in and man, she jacks him up 5 ways till Sunday, and I really enjoyed this issue because like the thing is. You have the Superior Spider-Man. He has just been spewing such nonsense, and it was just such a great thing to see him put in his place, and I enjoyed every second of it. Okay, Superior Spider-Man team up. There's a potential spoiler thing going on here, and I don't. And even though it's a spoiler, it's not like saying like for example Matt Murdock is Daredevil type thing. But anyways, basically what's going on is somebody stole the Punisher's Hobgoblin uh, glider. So these two go after Spider-Man. Now they don't. It's not necessarily that they think that he's necessarily stealing it, but it's part of it's because of his crusade against, the villains, and he is taking tech, but it's kind of like there's a mixture thing here because even Daredevil's like something's odd about Spider-Man, and there's a really nice interaction between them on the rooftop, which I thought was great. I mean, heck, Punisher starts shooting up Spider-Man. I was like that was awesome. And then the thing is, what happens after that? What Daredevil says about this part was great. Anyways, Spider-Man goes, look, you can come to my island, and I'll show you that this is everything we have in here, and your glider is in here. Now, when they get there, obviously everything is gone, and this is the key part. They find somebody who's basically a mole, and you can tell who the mole is in a sense, who's responsible just by that. And the guy is talking to somebody saying, "Give me the signal, and I'll blow everybody up." But the person doesn't give the signal. Now this is the key part right here. We know it's the Green Goblin. His henchman says, "Well, why?" This is off mic. The henchman says, "Why didn't you say?" They would give him the word, and the response is, "Because Daredevil would have detected my voice." Now let's think about this for a second. If this was Harry or Norman, Peter Parker as Spider-Man would have been able to detect that voice. Now, I guess you can also say, too, there might be another layer. It's also possible that the voice would have been so soft that only Daredevil heard it. So I'll buy that. But they're almost insinuating on a first listen or a first read-through that it might not be one of those two people. And it might be somebody that Peter doesn't even know who this person is. And it might be somebody who's more connected with Daredevil. But also, I do believe they could be the mic situation in that the volume would have been too low for a normal person to hear, but Daredevil would have heard it. But at the same time, it's kind of like when you look at this picture here, they all see the pumpkin bombs. Now, I guess you can guess, well, yeah, it's possible that he went in there and he stole all this stuff and he's going to blow himself up. But it also is kind of weird that it's, with everything that's been going on. Granted, none of these characters know what's really completely going on. They think that they know something is happening, but they just don't know what. And this is basically the start of something big, and we all know what that is. At least the Spider-Man readers know what that is. But I thought that part was a very interesting comment that the Green Goblin made. But we'll see who. My guess is it's going to really be Norman, and then somebody figured that out that you don't want to blurt that out. Anyways, those are my reviews. If you have any comments or questions, let me know. Rate the video. We'll have more reviews later. So until next time.